Game 4 of the playoff series between the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers is in the books. And it's the Florida Panthers with a 3-2 comeback win over the Boston Bruins up at TD Garden. And the Florida Panthers never cease to amaze me. They had persevered. They figured out the plan. They were disciplined, not creating many mistakes, as Boston was trying to make us pay by allowing ourselves to be frustrated and then give in. And the Florida Panthers were not going to give in, and then they punished them, which is absolutely amazing to see. And the Florida Panthers now have a 3-1 lead over the Boston Bruins. Oh gosh. It's kind of like that same story from last season. Boston was up 3-1, and then we make this comeback. We got to brace ourselves for that possibility. By the way, here's the bracelet I was talking about the other day, which was awesome. All right, it's Sergei Bobrovsky going up against Jeremy Swayman. We started with a Boston face-off win. As not too many things happened, although you got to see that sucker punch hit from McAvoy, completely laying waste on Reinhart, which is I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to do. Boston fans even said themselves, they want to injure our guys badly enough where they don't survive the next playoff series or something like that. They're looking out for blood. And it's just so ungentlemanlike to do so like that. But clean hit. What they're really trying to do is get us angry, pissed off, and allowing ourselves to give in on their plan. You know, like McAvoy, Pastrnak, especially Pat Maroon. Pat Maroon, I noticed, trying to say some words to Bennett, Kachuk, Bobrovsky of all people. Like, why Bobrovsky? He's trying to stop your shooting in the first period. And when they were up 2-0, they were still doing that. They're trying to give in to the frustrations. It did not work. I think Paul Maurice understood that, and that's why they had that first intermission talk, and then they came out swinging. But what's happened in this period alone? And also too, Brad Marchand is out for this game because of the upper body injury. So they're trying to set an example to us. All right, Pastrnak allows himself to be a little bit over the top line as he sucker punched Ondels in the face, which that's a dick move. So Florida goes on the power play, couple of shots on goal for Swayman, and then he saves with 3 of them, with Montour, Kachuk, and Tarasenko. And the penalty will be killed off, and then Aaron Ekblad gets called for interference on John Beecher, and Boston scores on the power play. 8 minutes into the power play, assisted by James Van Rimdisk, with his 4th assist of the postseason, and Jake DeBrusk with his 4th assist of the postseason. Off the last shot, it's David Pastrnak with his 4th goal of the playoffs to make it 1-0. And what I understood from that's his first power play goal since March. So it's been a long time since he had that. Pat Maroon, after that, gets a high sticking goal on Kachuk. Florida goes on a power play, and they did absolutely shit. They did absolutely shit on this power play. What they really did was give the puck away and allow more shots on goal for Boston in our own power play. You know how many shots on goal we had in this power play? Just the one, and that was with Tarasenko. Meanwhile, with Florida, they're allowing them to get shorthand chances. It's just stupid to have that happen. And Rodriguez gives the puck away to Brandon Carlo, and Carlo just scores on this one to make it 2-0 Boston, to have his 3rd playoff goal. So not a good start for Florida. Pat Maroon trying to set the fire. They're trying to piss off the Panthers players. He's saying some words. He is literally doing everything he can so to that Florida's so pissed off that they make a mistake. And that's what I said. After being down 2-0, Paul Maurice had the intermission talk. They're giving out the game plan, and just telling them, hey, this is what's going to happen from now on. Do not give in. Stay disciplined, and then play your best hockey. And for the most part, they kind of were, but it was a tough start in the second period. It's because Verhaeghe gets called for a trip on Zaka, and that is a clear as day trip. Boston goes on a penalty power play. They only get one shot on goal in that power play, which was Pastrnak. That is saved by Bobrovsky. Penalty is killed off, so that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Soon later, after the TV timeout, there'll be some hitting back and forth. There will be a little bit some pushing and shoving. So Florida remaining disciplined, and then Florida looking like a much better team. They had more shots on goal in the second period. Actually, they were dominating the second period with that kind of shots on goal on Boston Bruins. But they have to get one in at some point. And fortunately for us, that did just that. 14 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period, there would be a goal to put Florida on board. Aaron Ekblad assists Rodriguez, and Rodriguez assists Lundell. Lundell finally gets his first playoff goal of this postseason. Ekblad gets his fourth assist. I thought Rodriguez played tremendously tonight. He was amazing. I liked Rodriguez in this game. He gets his second assist. Off the snapshot as Lundell gets us on the board to make it 2-1. Awesome. That's really nice to see. And Boston are trying to get up 3-1 into this game, and Bobrovsky, vintage Bob, trying to go back, falls down his back while have the puck. It's awesome to see. All right, then we go to the third period, being down just a point. Boston were not able to score anything since the first period. Did they score in the third period, though? Let's find out. All right. So, third period starts, and there's a penalty on Lindholm for interference on Ekman Larson, and that is an instant penalty to give up, and kind of a dickish move too. Florida's power play. Let's see. There was a shot on goal from Boston, Brandon Carlo with the shorthanded activity of the slap shot. So that's bad enough. Then Lundell gets a wrist shot that's saved by Swayman. And then we have this situation. Before I even talk about this situation, there would be a challenge in this one. So if the call stood, good. If not, well, then we will not have the other conversation I'm about to bring up. But here's where I would say there might be a controversy in this one. So, Lundell shot the puck, and that was saved by Swayman. And then I forgot which player it was that got pushed, but Bennett was right there. He looked like he pushed a Boston Bruins player, which by definition of the rule book, that is a cross check, right? Well, that's one thing. Another thing, Bennett scores this one. Who's the coach? Jim Montgomery. Montgomery would challenge this. He would challenge the goaltending interference on Bennett after this goal. They took a while to look at this, and my thinking was this might be goaltending interference. However, my question is, was the puck going to Bennett first, just before the tap and he falls down on Swayman? Or was it before? Because if it was before, then you can definitely say it was goaltending interference. It was very close. So, in the end, Toronto, I guess Toronto is kind of still angry at the fact that Boston beat them multiple times, made this call and said, we can't find any evidence to overturn this one. So ref calling the ice stance. It's a good goal. And that will be a power play goal for Sam Bennett. Rodriguez gets his third assist of the playoffs. That's his second assist of the game. And Lundell's sixth assist of the postseason off the wrist shot of Sam Bennett with the power play goal. Challenge is unsuccessful. There would be a delayed game. So then the power play would reset to 2 minutes. And Montgomery was pissed. He was so pissed off that this penalty, not the penalty, but the challenge did not go Boston's favor. He was visibly upset, and I think he's trying to say that they missed the cross check, which, in all fairness, I think there was. In my personal opinion, but hey, we'll take it. I mean, look at them; they always get the benefit of the calls. I mean, we get one call in our favor, and then they're already causing unrest. It's just absolutely ironic to say. So that ties the game 2-2. Florida goes back on a power play. They get one shot on goal. That penalty would be killed off, and that shot would be right on Sam Reinhart making that shot, and then Reinhart got smoked in the chin from the puck. He wound up getting stitches on it. With that being said, I hope Sam Reinhart is okay. Apostle had to play for the rest, so there was that scenario. So Boston trying to get this, keep hitting our players. And then coming out of TV timeout, and my captain, Alexander Barkov with a beautiful wrist shot to make it 3-2. He gets a go-ahead goal. He was assisted by Vladimir Tarasenko, that's his third assist, and Kyle Okposo with his second assist of the postseason. Barkov, my captain, doing it all. He was doing it all. And he takes the lead for the Florida Panthers 3-2 after being down 2-0. After being down 2-0, Florida captures the first lead of the game, and they would not look back. But it wasn't easy. Right after this goal, Lidholm once again gets called for interference. This time he interferes Matthew Tkachuk. Florida goes back on the power play, almost nearing 4-2. And Swayman was right there to capture all the saves. He saved Rodriguez. He saved Tkachuk's shot. And some more from Matthew Tkachuk. He tries to tip in the back end, but the rebounds were both saved by Swayman. Then power play would be killed off, and guess what? Another Boston penalty. This time Morgan Geekie, he interferes Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, I don't know. It's 50-50 this one. My judgment, I would have called that goalie interference as well. Morgan Geekie goes to the penalty box. Florida goes right back on the power play, and this penalty was killed off instantly. There was one shot on goal, which was Sam Bennett's, while Swayman had it. And that would be the kill. I think that wound up being their last penalty of the last power play of the game. Forsling gets called for tripping on Trent Frederick, and that would be they would have a delayed penalty for a bit. Then eventually they would go on a regular power play, and that power play is killed off very easily for Florida. There was one shot on goal for Florida, which was Aaron Ekblad, but that was saved by Swayman. So Boston penalty did absolutely nothing at this one. By this time now, they have to pull Swayman in because they have to do a strategize an empty net situation. Montgomery is calling the timeouts. There will be no commercial break for the rest of that 7 minutes of that game. So that's how the game went by. Really fast. To me, at least, it went by pretty fast. So they're calling the timeouts. They're trying to sort this out. Sort this out is the wrong word, but they're trying to come up with the game plan to make it a 6-on-5. Florida looking like they're trying to get the empty net goal to put this thing away. And it was not easy. And Aaron Ekblad did not make it easier because he interferes Charlie McAvoy. Now it's going to be a 6-on-4. And I'm thinking, Ekblad, are you joking me? Why do you have to take this penalty now on a roll of time where they're about to do an empty net 6-on-4? So it will be a 6-on-4 for Boston. And they will not get a shot on goal. As Florida, even with 4-on-6, they still poke the puck away off Boston. And sometimes they will even clear it away. And because they're on a power play, we can just clear it without repercussions or anything like that, because we're on a penalty kill. And by rule, when somebody's on the power play and we clear it off, they cannot call it icing. So clock would tick, and I'm counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Florida Panthers was able to complete the comeback to finish the game off 3-2 over the Boston Bruins. And now they're up 3-1 in this playoff series against the Boston Bruins, coming back home to Sunrise on Tuesday to hopefully, and I say this with all my heart, and I'm just trying to say, hopefully they finish it. They finish it off on Tuesday and play the winner of Carolina, New York, and most likely it's going to be against the Rangers. My friend's getting screwed with Mario Kart, but that's most likely the opponent we're about to play, New York Rangers. But we got to do our part first before we talk about that series. Anyway, when we look at the team stats, we got 41 shots on goal for Florida. Boston only had 18. They got 2. And out of 41 shots for Florida, they got 3. The hits, they were brutal. But Florida gets the upper hand in hits. Boston trying to set the example, and it did not pay off, because if that set an example, they would have won this game. But they did not, as they choked the game away. One more face-off win for Florida. Florida has 6 power play opportunities. They got one with Sam Bennett. That was with that controversy that they're saying. But Pastrnak does get that power play goal out of 4 power plays. They got 1. 10 block shots for Florida, 16 block shots for Boston, 6 takeaways for Florida. Boston took away the puck 3 times, and the killer of all, 13 giveaways for Boston, 9 for Florida. And stars of the game, Barkov gets a star with 1 goal, so it is deserved. 2 stars, they give it to Jeremy Swayman. Personally, if it was up to me personally, I would have given it to Rodriguez. I would have personally give that 2 stars to Evan Rodriguez, because I think he played really good hockey tonight against the Boston Bruins. But 3 stars, they give it to Sergei Bobrovsky, as he was dominant with 16 saves. Both goalies get stars of the game. That's pretty impressive. But with that being said, Florida Panthers look to finish it off on Tuesday on ESPN on Tuesday at Sunrise, Florida, and it's gonna be amazing to see. It's gonna be amazing to see this series hopefully come to a close, and then move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And with that being said alone, this will be the first time in Panthers history where they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals in back-to-back years, and that's what the goal is. Their goal is to go back to the Stanley Cup, and their goal is to win the Stanley Cup final for the first time in franchise history. That is why they call it the redemption series. So that is their game plan. Everyone knows the game plan. But it's very exciting to see, and hopefully they just do it one more time to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But anyway, there you go. That's going to do it for this video, folks. If you have enjoyed this video and the game itself, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, because Miami 2G is back. And when it does, he'll be right there with you for your entertainment you deserve. Go Panthers, everybody. I'm so stoked. And Yeah, folks, this is my TVG, and let's hope we come back. And they said we won the series, folks. Good night.